We had 2 impromptu nights in Bayeux as a part of a 10-day Normandy adventure. Here's what we got up to. First stop after leaving Rouen was Pont Audemer, a little commune that we discovered while taking the long way from Rouen to Bayeux. Its main street had lots of cute shops, cafes, and a beautiful church. The kids enjoyed walking the narrow alleys and checking out how the rivers flowed between all the buildings. The highways might be the quickest way to get to the destination, but they seriously lack adventure. From there we headed north to Honfleur, a coastal community on the south bank of the Seine estuary, another highly ranked town on the list of day trips in Normandy. The old port was beautiful and bustling with activity. We had a little walk around but didn't stay here long as we were getting hungry and wanted to get to a charge port for the car. Mya had a quick ride on the carousel and then we set off again. We arrived at Bayeux by early evening. After we had checked in, we walked toward the old part of the city close to the Bayeux Cathedral, a giant Roman Catholic church located in the center of the city. We were impressed that so many beautiful churches in Normandy were wide open and free to explore. This one was the most impressive of our whole trip. The pillars and stained glass were beautiful, and we even got to check out the crypt. I've always enjoyed exploring old European churches, and the kids seem to as well. If you're into old Gothic churches, this one should be on the top of your list. The next day we got up early. In the cool, wet morning we made our way to Utah Beach. I wanted to get there while the tide was low, but rising, so I could get a feel for where the landing craft came ashore 80 years ago. Having watched so many documentaries and movies about D-Day, I was surprised at how far the shore was from the bluffs, how far the soldiers had to run, also at how small the Czech hedgehogs were. If anyone used these as shelter from machine gun fire, they didn't have much to hide behind. It was a somber start to the day, but the kids really enjoyed exploring the German bunkers and fortifications, and had a lot of questions about the airborne monuments on the way back from the beach. We took a moment to explore Saint-Marie-du-Mont, and were back on our way towards Carentan. We approached down the road made famous in the Band of Brothers' assault on Carentan, and headed toward the center of town to explore. A quick stop at Maison Opera for literally the best coffee and baked goods of our lives, then into Notre Dame Carentan. The long list of civilian victims from the Battle of Normandy was very sobering. We stumbled across an exhibit of knitted World War II scenes, which the kids loved so much they asked to go back again on our last day in Normandy. From the beach landings to Pegasus Bridge, all the way to Eisenhower's decision to go ahead with the invasion on June 6th, was all laid out in detail in knitted yarn. I don't know if this is a permanent exhibit, but if you're in the area, this is worth checking out. I can't think of a better way for the kids to learn more about the battles that happened in the area. From here we went to Pointe Du Hoc, the 35-meter cliffs that were scaled by the American Rangers on D-Day. I liked this site, and the bunkers were still in good shape and easy to explore. Plus, the views from these cliffs are spectacular. It was a busy site, but it's very large, so it handled the crowds pretty good. It gave an opportunity to get an idea what some of the Americans had to face here, but also you could get some German perspective while standing in the bunkers looking out at the sea. This might seem like a lot for a 6 and 9-year-old. Eli was curious to learn more. Mya was just happy to have something to explore. Then back to Bayeux, where we grabbed some dinner at Bonbonne. Elevated food and kids don't usually mix, but this was approved by all. Maybe the best meal of our entire trip. Great suggestions by the server, who was also the owner. Our last day in Bayeux, me and Eli got up bright and early to head to Dead Man's Corner and the D-Day experience. Touted by some as the best museum in all of Europe, this one was specially requested by Eli. It's filled with equipment, clothes, and whatever you can think of from the Allies and the Germans in World War II. I'll provide some links in the video below because there's far too much to get into in this video. They even had a C-47 used in the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers that we got to take a simulated ride in. A fully immersive experience I would totally recommend if you're in the area. This was the highlight of the trip for Eli. The recorded stories, the equipment, and old tanks outside, but mostly the plane simulation. I also got to check out the Bayeux Tapestry with Eli, but video recording isn't permitted, so I didn't get any shots. This is a fully guided tour of the story of the 70-meter long tapestry. It's a quick experience that's worth checking out. Are you planning a trip to Bayeux, France with your kids? If you have any questions about visiting this historically rich city with your family, leave them in the comments below. We have one more stop in Normandy. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the action. See you next time.